wagons per day, 4 wagons. We don't like that. So that is one. Secondly, we are going to have open access. Open access means we're going to allow many operators to use SGR railway track and also MGR. So I want to prepare the board now to prepare the regulations and all those protocols to allow private sector to use SGR track system, also MGR track system.
On his part, the TRC board chairman, Ali Amani, assures the minister that the corporation will work according to the instructions to ensure the goal to make SGR work 24 hours a day is reached. The Chinese ambassador to Tanzania, Shen Mianjian, commends the work done by the Tanzanian government to complete the J.P. Magufuli Bridge, Kigongo-Busisi in Mwanza, and the standard gauge railway between Mwanza and Isaka in Shinyanga. She made the remarks while addressing journalists after her visit to witness the progress of the two mega projects. James Lerombo was there and has prepared the following report.
Chinese ambassador to Tanzania, Her Excellency Shen Mianjian, arrives at J.P. Magufuli Bridge, Kigongo-Busisi in Mwanza, to inspect the construction of 716 billion Tanzania shillings project undertaken by the Chinese company CCECC.
You are doing construction of Magufuli Bridge. A lot of up-to-date technologies, construction technologies, and technology workmanship has been used. So many local employees, technicians are trained for the construction of the bridge.
After the inspection of the project, Ambassador Chen visited another project of the construction of the standard gauge railway, SGR, Lot 5, between Mwanza and Isaka in Shinyanga, and she was impressed by the work being done. Speaking to journalists after visiting both projects being undertaken by CCECC, Her Excellency Ambassador Chen said such projects are the result of the friendly relations between China and Tanzania.
And it is an international channel from Tanzania to the neighboring countries, such as Rwanda and Uganda. It is of great significance for improving the quality of life of people in the Great Lakes and promoting regional economic and social development.
The ambassador's delegations included members of Tanzania-China Parliamentary Friendship Group who believe the cooperation between Tanzania and China is of paramount significance in the country's development.
So the two countries are really trading partners, but also friends and sisters. We have seen a lot of projects being executed by the Chinese companies. CCC, CGRE, Group 5, Group 6, to mention just a few. And CCC, as they said, for some of you who might not be aware, they're the ones who have constructed the Ubungo interchange.
Reporting from Mwanza, James Lerombo, TBC News.
The Air Tanzania Company Limited, TTCL's cargo plane for the first time has officially started its flights to Zambia. The ambassador of Tanzania in Zambia, Lieutenant General Matthew Mkingule, says that the plane will boost trade between Tanzania and Zambia.
Around noon, the minister in charge of land, housing and human settlement development had the opportunity to visit the 7-Eleven, Samia Scheme and Morocco Square housing projects with the aim of understanding the development of the projects. Jerry makes clear that the 7-Eleven project worth of 107 billion shillings initially and which was supposed to end in 2017 has to resume, saying the project will stimulate the growth of country's economy and of individuals.
11 projects in Kawe which have been put into a stop for a long time since 2017, which now I've instructed for them to finalize the negotiation between them and the contractor, which is being spearheaded by the National Construction Council, and by the month of October they should resume the construction. Why? Because a lot of money have been buried there. There are some people who wish to have their livelihood there. So if they keep on stopping the completion of the project, we are losing as the country, we are losing in the economy. So they should start the construction so that we want to see the proposed 7-Eleven project, which Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan will want to see it into completion, is coming to effect and completed.
Speaking about the Samia Scheme project, Minister Slaa instructed the organization to ensure that the project also goes to other cities in the country and not just in Dar es Salaam, while the NHC Director General Hamad Abdallah disclosed that the Morocco Square project has reached 98% and will be completed soon.
This Samia Scheme, 48 billion shillings being invested in Kawe for the housing project, which they have about more than 500 units, which now is in a good progress. They're on the 5th and 6th floor, and the whole project will have 10th floor in each building. So also they should increase the speed. They should also launch in Dodoma and other big cities in Mwanza, Arusha and Mbeya, so that people in these big cities will have an access to affordable housing, both for purchasing and both for renting.
In this Morocco Square, we are almost 98%, and we are expecting up to December we will finish the entire project. But the good thing, actually, we have already handed over the hotel to a tenant, but also we have started handing over shopping mall to various tenants. As you can see in various shops, most of the tenants have started their fit-outs, but also we have handed over the residential apartment to various buyers. And up to now, we have sold 40% of the residential apartments. And soon we will start handing over office space.
The Morocco project, which consists of hotels, residence and business, is 98% complete and is projected to generate income of about 800 million shillings per month when it begins in early December. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rahima Sababili, TBC News.
The Air Tanzania Company Limited, TTCL's cargo plane, for the first time has officially started its flights to Zambia. The ambassador of Tanzania in Zambia, Lieutenant General Matthew Mkingule, says that the plane will boost trade between Tanzania and Zambia.
For the first time in history, we are going to receive Air Cargo 767, which is a cargo air transport aircraft. And it is coming here in Zambia for the first time. So it is a good news for the business community, those who want to import and export products within Africa and beyond Africa to use the Air Tanzania aircraft cargo. As we are all aware that Zambia is a land-linked state, so Tanzania wants to link Zambia to the outside world, Africa and beyond, through air transportation. We know we've got 3 systems here: the road transport, rail transport, and now importantly is the air transport.
The United States has infrastructure and strategies to transport agricultural products from where they are produced to the markets as part of the country's plan in agricultural transformations. This follows the agency's announcement last week during the Africa Food Systems Forum to add new investments to support inclusive and resilient food systems in Africa, including $15 million to provide support to women, smallholder farmers, and small and medium-sized businesses in food systems across the continent.
There were 85 people from the United States government present last week. We had the largest national delegation outside of Africa at the summit last week, in part because the United States is absolutely committed to the notion that our relationship with the African continent, our relationship with Tanzania, has to move away from an exclusive orientation on aid and development to the kind of trade and investment that is necessary for Africa to empower itself to the extent that it will no longer be dependent on aid.
On the other hand, the Director of Economic Growth Office at USAID Tanzania, Colin Drazen, elaborates that $4 million will be directed to support digital marketplace specifically for women.
At agriculture in Tanzania, we're very much focused on the value chain. And part of that is how do the off-takers receive the products and how do they move them to market? And we take a holistic approach, as the ambassador addressed. And beyond that, he spoke a little bit about how much food loss and waste there is. And we actually recently started a new program, a $22 million program aimed at halving food loss and waste in Tanzania, because depending on where you are, it can soar as high as 50%. So we're doing everything we can to go ahead and bring that down and help farmers get their products to market.
A delegation of about 85 people from the United States attended the forum in the country, including the Assistant Vice President of the American Millennium Challenge Organization, MCC, Catherine Knapp. Millennium Challenge Corporation Deputy Vice President Forbes taken to improve the agriculture sector through the use of modern technology, policy changing, and involvement of youth and women. She made the appraisal in Dar es Salaam following the country successfully hosted the Food Systems Forum, AFS. Rehema Sili has more details.
The Deputy Vice President Katerina, as it brought together decision makers and stakeholders in the agricultural value chain, something that fosters the resilience for global food and nutrition security.
Brings together government decision makers and practitioners in agriculture, private investors, and foundations as well. And in order to address the food security issue in Africa, it really will require all stakeholders to come together to solve the problems of better investment in agriculture, infrastructure development, better policy adoption, etc. And so it's been an amazing opportunity to bring all those stakeholders together.
Furthermore, the Deputy Vice President adds the Millennium Challenge Corporation plays a significant role in assisting Africa to achieve its targets.
So in principle, we're very supportive. Where MCC would get involved is perhaps with our regional programs, where we try and promote regional integration, either through infrastructure investment or non-infrastructure investment to help regional harmonization. So certainly the trade agreement is step one, but then how to make the regional integration a reality, that's where MCC could come in with its resources.
The MCC provided over $600 million in 2008 to the government of the United Republic of Tanzania to finance energy, transportation, and water projects. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sibabili, TBC News.
The winner of Go Getters Agripreneur Prize competition from Tanzania, Crescentia Mushobozi, says she expects her victory will influence more youth to be involved to agribusiness to ensure food sufficiency in Africa. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, Mushobozi insists that agribusiness can create more jobs, opportunities, and income to young people.
As a technologist, I wanted to improve in agriculture, so I used my skills to be able to upskill the technologies. So such as tissue technology, we use simple technology, biotechnology, to improve potato seeds. So it's fun. I use plants, don't give up, and dreams don't have expired dates. You just have to go with it. As a biotechnologist, I'm here standing. So dreams come true.
Mushobozi won the Agribusiness Prize during the Ended Africa Food Systems Forum 2023, held in Dar es Salaam, being the youngest finalist. The Impact Award winner, Crescentia Mushobozi, is a biotechnologist and the founder of Tanzania Vijana Agribusiness Enterprise Viable. Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Dorothy Murray and read by Teddy Mparanyanga.
The number of people killed in Friday's powerful earthquake in Morocco has risen to 2,497. Rescuers have been using their bare hands to dig for survivors. Heavy lifting equipment can't get through roads blocked by boulders to reach remote villages near the epicenter in the Atlas Mountains. Many lie in ruins with local people desperately awaiting for aid. At least 150 people have died after a powerful storm caused severe flooding in eastern Libya. Storm Daniel made landfall in the North African nation over the weekend, prompting authorities to declare a state of extreme emergency. Last week, it killed a dozen of people in Europe. 7 Libyan army personnel have gone missing during ongoing rescue efforts. Officials in eastern Libya have imposed a curfew, while schools and shops have been ordered to close. The transitional Prime Minister of Gabon, Raymond Sima, says a 2-year deadline for the free elections promised in Gabon by the military that overthrew President Ali Bongo is a reasonable objective. He says that they hope to see the process completed in 24 months so that they can return to elections. On Saturday, Sima announced the composition of his government, appointed by General Oligui Nguema and comprising former ministers of the deposed president, members of the former opposition and civil society figures. The United States today marks the 22nd anniversary of the September 11 terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people. Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 2 commercial jets and crashed them into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, causing both buildings to collapse. Terrorists crashed a hijacked plane into the building, which serves as the headquarters of the U.S. Defense Department.
That was international news. Sports news up next. Sports news. Simba Sports Club Media and Communication Manager Ahmed Ali says Simba is fearless of the opponent Power Dynamos of Zambia, even though they will be playing in their home ground Levi Mwanawasa Stadium on 16th of September in CAF Championships League first leg. Ali adds that Simba has quality and experienced players who can beat any team anytime in the continent, and they are ready to start with Power Dynamos.
There is no difference between Mbeya and Zambia. We played several times with the big teams like Nkana Red Devils and the others. Simba is a big club in East and Southern Africa. We can beat any team, including Power Dynamos.
Simba Football Club starts its campaign in CAF Champions League this season as they take on their rivals Power Dynamos of Zambia over the weekend before they play a return leg match at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium at the end of the month. Tanzania Premier League Board Executive Director Almas Kasongo says many players from Tanzania Premier League being selected for the national team for the upcoming African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast proves the power and quality of the Tanzania Premier League. Kasongo adds that Tanzanian clubs have dominated in the African competitions, boosting the standard of the football and the national team.
This shows maturity of our league, as well as his value has been increased. As you can see, we are in FIFA break, but NBC Premier players are in their national teams. This defines how our league is gaining momentum, and all this has been contributed with our clubs in matter related with investment.
Umelipa, vilabu wanafanya maamuzi mazuri.
Tanzania national team Taifa Stars has qualified for AFCON 2024 in Ivory Coast for the third time after a draw match with African giant Algeria in a never-die encounter played last Thursday. That is sports news, and now before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at our weather update for the next 24 hours.
Good evening. Once again, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Rainfall signal are distributed over the Lake Victoria Basin and slight signal over the entire coast. For tonight, we expect future partial condition, thunder shower over area over the Lake Victoria Basin, while the rest part of our country expect future partial condition. The lowest minimum temperature expected to be 10 degrees Celsius over Njombe regions. For tomorrow, we expect future partial condition, thunder shower over area and sun period over the Lake Victoria Basin together with western part of our country, while the entire coast together with Kilimanjaro and Arusha expect to feature partial condition, light rain shower over area and sun period, and the rest part of our country expect future partial condition and sun periods. Let's have a look for the 4 days weather forecast for some part of our country, starting from the day after tomorrow. Dear viewer, we thank you for watching us and have a good night.
That marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I'm Agnes Tuniga. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Karibu Cheza Pesa, karibu TBC1, mimi naitwa Haja. Leo ni siku nyingine tena. Of course ni Jumatatu ilikuwa njema kabisa ya kutoa mapesa, kutoa malaki mamilionea kutoka hapa Cheza Pesa TBC1. Of course yanakufikia wewe hapo Mtanzania ambao unatazama muda huu ukiwa nyumbani hapo, na mtaji wako ni shilingi 1000 tu. Unahakikisha unaipata zaidi ya shilingi hiyo 1000 ambayo unakwenda kuitoa. Sasa kuna mzigo wa kutosha kabisa mimi niko nao leo. Kuanzia muda huu mpaka inapokaribia saa 5, nafasi unayo kushiriki kucheza pesa sasa hivi. Karibu sana. Kama kwanza unajiunga nami, hujachelewa. Of course pesa zipo za kutosha, na wewe ndiye ambaye unatakiwa kuzipata hizo pesa. Kama ambavyo unaona pesa nyuma zinamwagika, ze kwako hizi ambao unatazama hapo. Kwa shilingi 1000 peke yake, naanza na shilingi 1050 faster muda huu. Boost mtaji, tunasema kila mmoja apate mwezi Septemba uende vizuri kwa kuongeza pesa kutokea Cheza Pesa. Huko ndiko ambako washindi waliko. Shukrani sana kwa wewe ambaye tayari umefungulia TV yako muda huu. Maelekezo yangu mimi yanakuja kama ifuatavyo. Kama unahitaji kupata shilingi 1050 muda huu, ingia kwenye menyu yako ya malipo. Rahisi kabisa. Ingia kwenye menyu yako ya malipo, nenda kalipe bill. Ingiza namba ya kampuni au namba ya biashara. Hiyo ni 551551. Kumbukumbu namba ni 333 au neno TV. Weka kiasi shilingi 1000 tu. Alafu namba ya siri unathibitisha muamala wako. Unakuwa tayari umeshiriki kucheza pesa na una nafasi ya kuondoka na kitita cha shilingi 1050 muda huu kutoka hapa Cheza Pesa. Utaratibu wa kushiriki ni rahisi kama ambavyo nimekuambia. Unahitaji shilingi 1050 ambayo inakwenda kutoka sio muda mrefu kutokea sasa hivi. Basi rahisi sana kuipata hiyo pesa kwa mtaji wa shilingi 1000 tu. Ingia kwenye menyu yako ya malipo, nenda kalipe bill. Ingiza namba ya kampuni au namba ya biashara. Kuna mitandao mingine inatumia namba ya kampuni na mitandao mingine inatumia namba ya biashara. Kwa hiyo hizo zote hizo zinawakilishwa na namba hizi zifuatazo ambazo ni 551551. Kumbukumbu namba weka 333 au Neno TV. Kiasi shilingi 1000, namba ya siri unathibitisha muamala wako, alafu tulia vimba, kaa kwa kutulia uweze kupokea pesa usiku huwa leo. Haina ngoja, haina kesho hiyo. Inatumwa usiku kwa usiku. Yaani sasa hivi hapa ukishinda pesa yako inatumwa usiku kwa usiku. Muda sio mrefu nilikuwa nazungumza na baadhi ya marafiki zangu, waniambia bwana, hivi ni kweli bana ama vipi? Niambia bana kweli, kwa sababu watu wengi wanashiriki na wanashinda, na tumeshawasia watu wengi sana wakizungumza hiyo, wanasema kwamba bana wengine kama haamini hivi wanapata ushawishi kutokea maeneo mengine. Amini usiamini, watu wanashinda hizo pesa kutokea hapa Cheza Pesa TBC1. Na Rihana naongea na wewe pia kutokea hapo maeneo ya Sinza. Shiriki kucheza pesa ili uweze kuibuka mshindi sasa hivi. Na kila mmoja ambaye anaitazama TBC1, unaweza ukashiriki mara nyingi zaidi. Hiyo itakuongezea nafasi ya kuweza kushinda hizo pesa ambazo mimi nakwenda kuzitoa usiku huu, kwa sababu watu ni wengi. Kwa hiyo ukicheza zaidi ya mara moja inakupa nafasi ya kuingia kwenye jackpot za washindi. Hautakiwi kuweka shilingi 2000 yote kama uko nayo kwenye simu, ama shilingi 3000 ama shilingi 4000 ama shilingi 5000 yote. Unacheza kwa awamu. Unacheza kwa awamu ya kwanza, unacheza kwa awamu ya pili, ya tatu, alafu baada ya hapo unakuja unashinda hizo pesa. Sasa namna ya kushiriki, naomba nirudie tena alafu nikatoe mzigo wa kwanza. Unahitaji kuondoka na shilingi 50,000 usiku wa leo? Basi maelekezo ni mepesi. Haya ambayo nimekupatia na yarudia tena ili kukukumbusha na maliza niende kukutangaza mshindi sasa hivi. Namna ya kushiriki Cheza Pesa, ingia kwenye menyu yako ya malipo. Haraka. Nenda kalipe bill. Ingiza namba ya kampuni au namba ya biashara ambayo ni 551551. Kumbukumbu namba ni 333 au Neno TV. Kiasi ni shilingi 1000. Namba ya siri unathibitisha muamala wako. Hapo unakuwa tayari umeshiriki kucheza pesa, na pesa zinakuja muda huu. Muda sio mrefu. Na kukumbusha tu kwamba kuna washindi ambao wanapatikana kuanzia mapema kabisa kunapokucha pale na nini. Umeona bwana. Kwa hiyo ukiwa na Cheza Pesa unajihakikishia ushindi wa kupokea pesa mara kwa mara, hata nje ya hii jackpot ya moja kwa moja. Una uwezo pia wa kushinda. Cha msingi ni kuzingatia tu maelekezo ambayo nimekupatia. Jumatatu iwe nzuri zaidi kwako, iwe Jumatatu ya maokoto yaliyokuwa fresh kabisa, halali. Kwa sababu pesa nzuri bana ni pesa ya halali, asikwambie mtu. Isiwe pesa za janja. Sasa Cheza Pesa sisi tunazitoa hizo pesa za halali, na unaposhinda unatumiwa pesa muda huo. Kwa hiyo maelekezo ni mepesi kabisa, namna ya kushiriki Cheza Pesa ili tuweze kushinda Cheza Pesa. Haya, kama uko tayari nataka tukahesabu mpaka 3, alafu baada ya hapo nikatoe hizo pesa kama ilivyokuwa kawaida, kama dawa. Twende kazi na kwenda kuchezesha draw ya kwanza ya shilingi 50,000 usiku huu. Kwa shilingi 1000 pekee unaondoka na shilingi 50,000 sasa hivi Cheza Pesa TBC1. Twende kazi. Kushiriki ni rahisi sana. Wewe ambao unatazama sasa hivi ndio mshindi wangu. Kutokea popote pale ulipo, unatumiwa pesa yako endapo tu pale ambapo unashinda. Mara kadhaa tumekuwa tukizungumza na washindi na wanatuhakikishia kwamba pesa wanazipata. Na hata sasa hivi wewe utakaposhinda na kwenda kukupigia simu, utaniambia kwamba nilikwambia unakwenda kushinda. Twende kazi. Mimi nahesabu mpaka 3, natoa pesa hizi hapa. Sitaki kukaa na pesa kwa sababu kuna mzigo mwingine tena unakuja baada ya pesa hizi ambazo nimezisema nazitoa sasa hivi. Twende kazi. Nenda kwenye menyu yako ya malipo, kalipe bill. Ingiza namba ya kampuni au namba ya biashara 551551. Kumbukumbu namba ni 333 au Neno TV. Weka kiasi shilingi 1000. Namba ya siri unathibitisha muamala wako. Hapo unakuwa tayari umemaliza kucheza pesa. Kinachofuata ni kusubiri maokoto ya shilingi 50,000 ya kwanza usiku wa leo. Na hesabu mpaka 3 natoa hiyo pesa. 1. Twende kazi. Mikono yangu iko vizuri na iko tayari kabisa kumpigia makofi na kumshangilia mshindi wa kwanza wa shilingi 50,000. 2. Haya, twende kazi. Cheza pesa. Tuondoke, tutoe hiyo pesa. 2. Tupo kwenye 2. Maliza. huku watu wanaondoka na mkwanja, bado wewe tu nikupigie simu. 1, 2, 3. Hongera sana, hongera sana, hongera sana, hongera sana mshindi wetu wa kwanza kabisa wa shilingi 50,000. Jackpot ya kwanza imechezeshwa na huyu, namba yake ni 0622 mwishoni 50. Naomba nimpigie simu ili tuelewe mzigo ameupata au vipi.
Samahani, namba unayopiga haipatikani. Tafadhali.
Sababu muda wowote na saa yoyote simu inapigwa ya kukutangaza kuwa wewe ndiye mshindi wetu usiku huu leo. So hakikisha kwamba pia simu yako inakuwa ina sauti ili ukipigiwa usikie. Kaa kwenye network nzuri mara tu baada ya kushiriki kucheza pesa. Amini usiamini, wewe ndiye mshindi wangu usiku huu. Ya kwanza hiyo 50,000 imeenda kwa huyu Mtanzania ambaye namba yake inaishia 50. Bado wewe pia. Nyingine inafuata sio muda mrefu tukia sasa hivi. Naomba nirudie tena kumpigia simu. Kama atakuwa hajapatikana basi itabidi twende tukachezeshe tena nyingine, alafu baadaye tutajaribu kuwasiliana naye.
Samahani, namba unayopiga haipatikani. Tafadhali jaribu tena baadaye. Asante.
Namba ya mshiriki wetu kwa sasa haipatikani. Sawa. Tutakwenda tena kumpigia tena simu baadaye mpaka tumpate ili tufahamu pesa yake imemfikia au vipi. Wakati huo tunaendelea kumsubiri huyu mshindi wa kwanza wa shilingi 50,000 kwenye jackpot usiku huu. Naomba nikutangazie tena kuna 50,000 nyingine ambayo inakuja kutoka sio muda mrefu tukia sasa hivi. Utaratibu wa kuipata pia ni ule ule rahisi kabisa. Namna ya kushiriki kuipata 50,000 nyingine achana hii ambayo tayari imefikia huyu ambaye hapatikani. Rahisi kabisa. Unakumbuka maelekezo ya mwanzo? Naomba nikukumbushe. Ingia kwenye menyu yako ya malipo. Nenda kalipe bill. Ingiza namba ya kampuni au namba ya biashara. 551551. Kumbukumbu namba ni 333 au neno TV. Kiasi